Most people wake up every morning chasing comfort, waiting for life to hand them permission, while high achievers wake up with a mission, a plan, and an unwillingness to settle for mediocrity. The difference is not talent, luck, or resources, it is mindset. High achievers operate on principles and mental disciplines that the average person ignores, overlooks, or dismisses as extreme. Every day, without exception, they follow rituals, thought patterns, and decision-making frameworks that compound over time into unstoppable momentum. While others are distracted by excuses, entertainment, and the illusions of productivity, high achievers are building invisible foundations that one day manifest as visible success. They understand that the smallest choices repeated consistently are far more powerful than sporadic bursts of effort or temporary bursts of motivation. They know that success is not an event. It is a result of disciplined action, clarity of purpose, and unshakable mental habits that demand attention every single day. High achievers understand the brutal truth. No one is coming to save you. The world owes you nothing, and if you sit waiting for opportunity to arrive, you will waste years of your life hoping instead of building. They wake up early because time is the most valuable resource, and they use it before the distractions of the world start demanding their energy. They focus relentlessly on what matters most, eliminating tasks, people, and thoughts that drain them of energy or dilute their purpose. High achievers cultivate clarity in thought and intention because they know that confusion breeds inaction and inaction breeds failure. Every decision is weighed against a single standard. Does this move me closer to my goals, my vision, my highest potential? If the answer is no, it is discarded without guilt. While average people drift, high achievers pilot their lives with precision. Another trait they share is obsession with growth. High achievers are relentless students of life, constantly seeking knowledge, new skills, and perspectives. They understand that intelligence is not static, that learning is a lifelong process, and that mental flexibility separates those who adapt and thrive from those who stagnate. Every book read, every mentor consulted, every experience endured, and every failure faced is analyzed for insight. High achievers are comfortable with discomfort because they know that growth always demands stretching beyond the familiar, beyond the easy, beyond the safe. While others avoid challenge, they embrace it, knowing that the crucible of pressure is where character, resilience, and opportunity intersect. Fear for them is information, not a stop sign. Setbacks are data points, not reasons to quit. Mistakes are tutors, not shameful exposures. High achievers also understand the power of mindset over circumstance. They realize that their environment, while influential, does not determine their outcomes unless they allow it. They take responsibility, not blame. They see opportunity in chaos, potential in adversity, and leverage in constraints. While average people complain about luck, connections, or timing, high achievers maximize what is within their control and ignore what is not. Their mental models prioritize action over excuse, solutions over lament, and persistence over resignation. Every day they feed their minds with positivity, strategy, and focus because they know what you think about most, you become. Habits of thought, repeated consistently, build mental muscle that guides every decision, every conversation, every action. Discipline is another defining feature. High achievers do what must be done, even when motivation is absent. They understand that motivation is fleeting, unreliable, and a poor foundation for long-term results. Discipline, however, is consistent, measurable, and empowering. It is waking up at 5 a.m. when the bed is warm and cozy, finishing the task that is painful but necessary, maintaining routines that protect health, focus, and productivity, and adhering to principles that define their vision. Discipline also includes the brutal elimination of distractions. They cut off energy-draining habits, social interactions that do not serve their purpose, and indulgences that derail their progress. While the average person drifts through convenience, high achievers design their environment, their schedule, and their life to support excellence, not comfort. High achievers are also masters of emotional regulation. They do not allow fear, doubt, or envy to control them. They know that emotions are powerful signals, not dictators of action. When anxiety rises, they respond strategically. When fear whispers, they act anyway. When envy emerges, they focus on their path rather than comparison. They train themselves to remain calm, focused, and objective in the face of adversity, understanding that clarity of thought under pressure separates winners from dreamers. Employees think income is the goal. Investors know income is a tool. Employees chase races. Investors chase equity. Employees ask for promotions. Investors acquire positions. And while employees fight for a slightly bigger slice of a fixed pie, investors focus on building bakeries that produce pies endlessly. And this is why an employee's ceiling is always defined by someone else's decision, while an investor's ceiling is defined only by their ability to think, learn, and execute. To move from employee mindset to investor mindset, you must first detach your identity from your job, because as long as your self-worth is tied to your title, your salary, or your employer's validation, you will never take the risks required to build something of your own. You will protect the image instead of building the asset. You will defend the comfort instead of attacking the opportunity, and you will choose safety over growth every single time. And safety is the slowest way to die. Investors understand that money is not earned, it is attracted through value creation, ownership, and positioning. And that means your first investment is not stocks, real estate, or businesses. It is your mindset, your skills, and your ability to see opportunities where others see obstacles. Because without that foundation, every external investment becomes gambling. And gamblers always lose eventually, while investors survive because they understand risk, probability, and long-term strategy. The employee mindset avoids responsibility because responsibility feels heavy. But the investor mindset embraces responsibility because responsibility equals control, and control equals freedom. And that is why employees constantly feel trapped, exhausted, and stressed even when they are doing everything right, because deep down they know they are working hard without building anything that truly belongs to them. They are busy but not progressing, occupied but not advancing, and activity without ownership is just disguised stagnation. This shift is not comfortable. It will force you to confront your spending habits, your excuses, your lack of financial education, and your fear of uncertainty. It will demand discipline when motivation disappears, patience when results are slow, and courage when everyone around you tells you to be realistic. But realism is just fear dressed as logic. And every investor who ever won big was once called unrealistic, irresponsible, or crazy by people who chose comfort over courage. You must understand that investors are not reckless dreamers. They are calculated thinkers. They take risks, yes, but they take intelligent risks, risks backed by research, strategy, and vision, while employees take the biggest risk of all without realizing it: the risk of depending on a single income source controlled by someone else, the risk of inflation eating their savings, the risk of layoffs destroying their stability, and the risk of waking up at 50 realizing they traded decades of time for nothing they truly own. The investor mindset trains you to ask brutal questions. Questions like, if my income stopped today, how long would I survive? What assets am I building that will pay me in 5, 10, or 20 years? Am I consuming more than I'm creating? And is my current path leading to freedom or dependency? And these questions hurt, but pain is information, and investors use pain as feedback, not as an excuse to quit. You cannot serve two mindsets at once. You cannot think like an employee and expect investor results. You cannot crave comfort and expect growth. You cannot fear loss and expect ownership. And you cannot avoid responsibility and expect freedom, because freedom is expensive and the price is paid up front in discipline, uncertainty, and relentless self-education. And most people are not willing to pay that price, so they criticize those who do. This transition does not mean you quit your job tomorrow. It means you stop letting your job define your future. It means you use your income as fuel, not as a destination. It means you allocate time, energy, and money toward building assets instead of upgrading lifestyle. Because investors delay gratification while employees upgrade consumption, And that single decision compounds over years into two completely different lives. The employee mindset asks, how can I spend this? The investor mindset asks, how can I multiply this? The employee mindset looks for guarantees. The investor mindset looks for probabilities. And once you start thinking in probabilities instead of promises, you stop being emotionally manipulated by fear, headlines, and opinions, and you start making decisions based on logic, data, and long-term vision. You will feel lonely during this transition because investor thinking separates you from the crowd. It changes how you see money, time, relationships, and even conversations. Thank you for listening to me. Make sure to subscribe my channel.